What's up, Random Phantom? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're about to get into CinemaSins, everything wrong with Space Jam. Space Jam. Seriously, a lot of childhood nostalgia right there. A lot of serious nostalgia. One of my favorite movies from back in the day, and Space Jam 2 is out today, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing Space Jam 2. So let's get into this reaction, and we'll have my thoughts about this afterwards. Nice logo. Spoilers. Duh.
Can't play the song, and in this case, I'm happy not to share it. Anyway, starting the movie off with a hit song by R. Kelly sure felt good back in 1996, but his sins cannot be forgiven.
I want to play in North Carolina. I want to play on a championship team. Then I want to play in the NBA.
This obvious summary of Michael Jordan's life is still exposition.
And once I've done all that, I want to play baseball just like you did.
Okay, so young Michael says he wants to play for North Carolina, play for a championship team, and then go to the NBA. It all came true, so good for him. But there's no way he figured, I'll just play baseball in the middle of all that, but that was the plan all along. It is still entertaining to watch highlight clips of MJ, but this is 3 minutes of seizure-inducing credit.
It kind of is. It kind of is.
It took 4 writers to write a script about animated aliens playing a basketball game against Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan.
Here's kind of a problem.
Oh, yes, everyone remembers when Michael Jordan retired the first time. He did it in this swanky ballroom in front of 3.3 billion microphones. Oh, memories.
But I think I'm going to go and play professional baseball.
Oh, yes, everyone remembers when Michael Jordan retired the first time. When he said, time to play motherfucking Major League Baseball. Why didn't The Last Dance cover this actual press conference that really happened? More on crater would be much more accurate, since they are the most ubiquitous geological feature on this planet. Or is it a moon? Or maybe whatever the hell Pluto is these days. Point is, I don't see any mountains, just craters and these weird tendrils that make it look like the same goddamn coronavirus graphic we were forced to see every day for a year.
That's funny.
Just before this, that is a full-fledged woo-hoo if I've ever heard one. Why would you woo-hoo if you're having a bad time? I told you 1,000
True.
times. We need new attractions. So you told them that many times, and this is the first time you decided to do anything about it? You look 8,000 times greedier than the people who built Jurassic World. And they were looking for new attractions when their park was full. Giant. Loony, that's it. The first thing you see are characters that are anywhere from 50 to 60 years old. And that's your answer for new attractions? How did funny cartoon characters become attractions at an amusement park anyway? Why would they excite the teenager who, despite loving the ride he was on, hated being there?
Curveball, don't swing.
I guess I should send the catcher for telling Michael Jordan what pitch is coming next, but really, I'm going to send the fact that this pitch looks nothing like a curveball. Now you might be saying that's because of the camera angle, and I say you couldn't get a better angle to show the break of this curveball?
Nobody bothers Michael. I want him to be the happiest player in the world.
I'm telling you this now in the middle of the game because it was at this very moment I noticed that Michael Jordan was on our team.
It's Nedry from Jurassic Park.
This is a comedy. This is how Stan introduces himself to Michael Jordan rather than, just walking into the dugout and introducing himself.
True.
Despite the pretty solid execution of effects in this movie, they barely try to hide this crash mat.
That's funny.
Publicist because Michael Jordan is on the team, but this publicist? Who was their previous publicist? Jerry Lewis? I suppose Jane Wyman throws out the first pitch of every game. And Jack Benny is the Secretary of Travel. Why does the alien spaceship fly over Birmingham, Alabama?
I understood that reference.
In a Wiggly parking lot that somehow conceals a tunnel that leads straight to what I suppose is still technically Toontown from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Also,
True, that is true.
Underneath an Alabama Piggly Wiggly that leads to Toontown. And how did the aliens know about it? Warner Brothers foreshadows its own future existence as a useless membrane at the bottom of a dark chasm trapping its own intellectual property in a void at the center of the earth. I'm talking about HBO Max. The void is HBO Max. Also, the aliens from Space Jam find Hollow Earth 25 years before all the assholes in Godzilla vs. Kong.
We see the one they call Bugs Bunny. Yeah, Bugs Bunny, have you seen her?
You guys knew who the Looney Tunes were before you left. You clearly watched their cartoons and were excited about kidnapping them. One of you was even smart enough to tell Swackhammer that they were from Earth. You somehow knew there was a tunnel underneath the Piggly Wiggly that would bring you here. And yet you somehow don't know who Bugs Bunny is.
Say, doesn't he have a great big long ears?
Bugs Bunny will describe 3 Bugs Bunny traits, and the aliens confirm that all of them are true. But somehow they still can't recognize Bugs Bunny. I know this is a joke for very young kids, but even they are yelling at the screen, do you not know who Bugs Bunny is? And these kids are getting their mouths washed out with soap for saying so casually. I guess the car didn't read the sign. Also, Michael Jordan is somehow being escorted by the publicist rather than getting into a limo or driving his own badass car. The very idea that other people aren't around him right now is sinful in and of itself.
Ball, I'm a driver, okay, so I don't need to drive.
These guys saw an alien spaceship fly over the Barron Stadium, and I guess that's not a big deal. Totally forgotten about it. In 1996, the Ford Windstar had a seating capacity of 7, but 8 kids hop out the back. Now, not that this was uncommon in the 90s. My family felt the bed of a pickup truck met the requisite safety standards for transporting me and my siblings. But citizens aren't bound by the concept of time, and there were not nearly enough seatbelts for those kids. Also, Juanita Jordan...
Another true.
Windstar?
Yes. Anything on TV?
That brings his batting average down to a leaving 214, which also happens to be his playing weight.
It's awesome that this local news channel was able to get movie-like close-ups of all the Michael Jordan strikeouts today. I imagine most people would have had a hard time hitting if there were that many cameras in the playing area. Also, nothing so staged like putting a paisley sheet under a TV, which happens to be placed on a cabinet in front of a fireplace with flowers in it, not to mention the stack of VHS tapes, despite there being no VCR in sight. Sure, maybe the VCR is in the cabinet, but this is the same Michael Jordan with multi-million-dollar endorsements. The only reason this movie was set up this way is that the production designer felt like Michael Jordan playing Michael Jordan needed to feel more approachable as a character. Now the TV appears to have changed form and location. You can even see that the GE logo on the left bottom corner of the original TV is now gone.
Stop listening to the cartoon.
Oh, I guess cartoons in this world are broadcast live? Do Roadrunner and Wally Coyote perform an episode you've seen 20 times over and over live to perfection? I'm guessing they don't, which means Porky Pig is somehow interrupting an episode that was already shot and edited. And the real Roadrunner and Wally Coyote are in their trailers doing cartoon blow. There's a wheelchair parked by the disabled parking sign, which is pretty insensitive, but why is this space so far away from the building?
Can't even get himself wet around here.
Sexual dysfunction aside, why is Daffy Duck walking into the building straight from a shower? Does he live in the Union Hall? The establishing shot clearly showed this was a place that you drive to. Either way, how is Daffy leaving puddles everywhere he walks?
You've got to give us a chance to defend ourselves. Just a sec. Read them and wait, boys.
This is one of the biggest This Works in the history of This Works. For a reason it's so obvious that explaining it would be insulting to not only your intelligence but mine. Never mind that Bugs only has a pencil and couldn't possibly have changed the cover of this book with red ink, but the note itself looks like it's drawn with a black marker. But also, Bugs just write a note that said, leave us alone and go back to your planet in the rule book if he was so sure this bullshit would work. Because Elmer Fudd and the brain trust for this meeting, not to mention Sylvester the cat. Aren't those two characters constantly outwitted in the cartoons that they're in?
Challenge you to a basketball game.
Yeah, I know the reasons why they chose basketball, and it's not because it's the most logical choice. They should have challenged these aliens to a track meet, since the Looney Tunes have Roadrunner, the Tasmanian Devil, Speedy Gonzales, and even Bugs himself. As long as Bugs isn't facing Cecil Turtle and being stupid, he's pretty fast.
The best players in the world. The best.
These assholes didn't even know what basketball was, if they knew immediately to fly to New York City and find Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley. Now, you could say that the aliens did some research, but I'll also point out that they got fooled by an obvious handwritten note inside an obviously fake rulebook, and that overrides anything smart that you think these aliens might do offspring. The aliens dress themselves up like the Invisible Man, which manages to fool security, and they're able to get seats this close to the game. In a movie this ridiculous, I should let it go, but I think for every nitpick I make, I save a puppy. You want me to save puppies, don't you?
Sweetheart, thought you could get better seats this year.
This is as good as I can get.
This guy next to me is doing something very weird in his raincoat.
Figure the amount you spend on tickets somehow protects you from creeps. Maxing out my credit card for a first-class upgrade got me legroom, free drinks, and a shocking proposition from the older couple next to me. This asshole Danny Ainge tells Charles Barkley to get back on defense rather than ask him if he's okay. This asshole Danny Ainge takes a pass and immediately throws it towards the basket, even though there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
I got it. I got his talent.
This asshole Danny Ainge thinks he can just jump into Charles Barkley's body and find something intangible like talent and fuse it. Oh, wait, that's not Danny Ainge. That's clearly Kurt Rambis. Sorry, Danny. Why would stealing Larry Johnson's basketball talent make it harder for him to drink Gatorade? Movie saves money by showing archival footage of Sean Bradley in any number of games they could have selected this footage from.
Come on, Michael, it's game time. Get your Hanes on, lace up your Nikes, grab your Wheaties and your Gatorade. We'll pick up a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark.
Movie acknowledges the absurdity of this everyman routine, considering how much goddamn money this guy has. Also, this is delivered with just enough sarcasm for me to say Stan would be amazing at CinemaSins.
Know what happened to Barkley and Ewing? It's got to be germs in there or something.
That was in New York. 3,000 miles away. Bacteria like that can travel faster than the speed of light.
Post-pandemic me was about to sympathize with their concerns, then the writers gave Anthony Miller this line that spits in the face of both biology and physics. Also, just a minute ago, the movie showed a game being played in Charlotte, where Muggsy Bogues lost his talent and Sean Bradley kept his existing talent. And yes, that's still all the way across the country. But the aliens would have made a stop in Chicago or San Antonio or any of the other places between New York and LA, right? Not like the East and West Coast have a monopoly on games and talent.
All right. Dress in the hallway.
Okay. Did they not see that Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing were playing well for the most part of the game they were playing? Why do they think the dressing room is the source of the plague? Also, this brings up something else. When everyone is watching replays of Charles Barkley losing his talent, do they not see the pink phantasm slithering its way onto the court? Or is that just for us, so we can see it? Because I'm telling you right now, people inside the movie can see it. We have flubber levels of ignorance going on.
Flubber. That is true, yeah.
Why is Bugs Bunny's talent pool limited to just these characters? And why, in this limited selection, did he include Tweety Bird?
Don't worry, William. So it's their turn to use the court.
Is there really only one basketball court in this entire underground made-up secret cartoon world? So wait, the aliens said they needed to use the court so they could turn into the Monstars in front of the Looney Tunes and then just leave? Well, they did, I suppose, or else Bugs wouldn't know they need a ringer. Sure, magnets shouldn't have any effect on golf balls, so I'll assume the insane clown posse wrote this scene. But I'm really here to point out that this golf ball is animated as it looks more like a ping pong ball than a golf ball. The cartoon, not real. Okay, guys, we got Michael Jordan be in our live-action animated movie about basketball. Major cool. What will be the first thing he says to Bugs Bunny? Find out at the house, how about your cartoon, you're not real? Holy Johnson, that's exactly what someone would say to a cartoon if they encountered one. Aren't you the one who pitched your Captain Talk when we made that Talking Cat movie? Brilliant. Sexual harassment. Looks like Porky Pig went to the Nigel Tufnell School of leavening things. Also, at 11, a heart and a problematic comment. What is the scale? Why are they even scoring this? And why is Speedy Gonzalez the most critical?
Go for a little spin.
I know the Looney Tunes are, well, loony, but if they need Michael Jordan, why are they actively annoying him? Making children believe that it is perfectly harmless to have a paperclip lodged in your ear, and making me question why only the inside of Michael's head is animated.
You see, these aliens come from outer space, and they want to make us slaves in their theme park.
This line from the Q-Scientology subreddit makes it into this film.
Because they're talking about slavery. They're going to make us do stand-up comedy, the same jokes every night for all eternity. Wild animals.
I get that Bugs Bunny is supposed to be like the one friend we all have that can never take anything seriously. So when there really is a problem, it seems like they're joking. But even if this cartoon threat is cartoon real to him, this whole tongue-in-cheek bit about slavery is kind of gut. Also, his description sounds more like working on the Tonight Show than the actual institution of slavery. And adding 100 cents here. Bugs knows what he did.
I think Michael's all right. Yeah, I hate to leave him like this.
If you're in a world where you can be this nonchalant about Michael Jordan getting lassoed down a golf hole, surely you can call the authorities and have them investigate where he might have gone. Yes, it's insane that you would have to tell emergency workers that Michael Jordan got sucked into a vortex, but it also seems like this is the kind of world that will believe you.
Oh my God, balls!
Showing off your balls in public with some cartoon magic made your indoor gym looking amazing. They could have done this all along. Why didn't they already do that? Especially since they have to share the outdoor court with the Monstars.
And that's such an exclusive property and trademark of Warner Brothers, Inc.
Daffy has this weird flex about copyright law because this movie needed a reason to flash the Warner Brothers logo halfway through the movie. They also needed one of their characters to kiss their own ass, so the metaphor could become literal.
Who are these guys?
Bugs literally told you who these guys were a few minutes ago. Every time we've seen a clock in this scene, it's been 4:50 p.m. But in this shot, it's 12:45. I expect my movies about cartoons kidnapping Michael Jordan to help them win a basketball game to avoid being sent into space to perform for Danny DeVito to be way more conscious about clock continuity.
True.
Since there's been no sign of actual consequences in this movie, I see no reason why any of them should be scared of the Monstars. The movie includes this scene to be inclusive, instead of just writing more strong female characters into the main story. This is Charles Barkley. Also, Nikki McCrimmon is a real dick to Charles Barkley. But also, wouldn't she know about him losing his abilities? The movie never explains why, despite losing nearly all his coordination, Muggsy Bogues is able to glide across the ground like he's on wheels. Muggsy Bogues is short. Also, Barkley is seeing this psychiatrist and so are the others. So they're in the same sphere of care, but Barkley somehow missed the medical exams?
Are there any other areas besides basketball where you find yourself unable to perform?
No. The movie thinks it's important to assure all the families watching that Patrick Ewing can get hard.
Has anyone ever played basketball?
The thing LeBron said to the Cavaliers during his second stint in Cleveland travels through time and makes it into this movie. interaction with a metaphorical erection.
Hey, nice playing with you.
So, wait, Lola comes in and dunks on Bugs just one time, and now she's out the door. This trial has a smaller sample size than the one the peanut butter had in trouble with the curve. Matthew Lillard lost his job because the guy he picked couldn't hit that guy's curveball one day during one practice. What's up with that movie?
Someone's gonna have to go to my house and pick up a basketball game.
Why not you? I know your publicist is looking for you, but so what? It's not like he has any power. Don't you raise fewer questions by doing it yourself? I wonder how much damage Bugs did to Michael's house by coming from underground and going through these floorboards.
Everyone's sleeping.
Did anyone wonder what happened to Michael when he didn't come home or call or anything? The rest of his house is obviously colonial revival, but this room is much more Elizabethan Tudor. Make up your mind, Michael. How the hell did this big dog get inside this closet? It was just outside a minute ago, roughing up Daffy. Even if he followed Bugs' destructive path up through the house, he still would have had to find a way to this closet. Are we supposed to think the real world works on cartoon rules?
Here you go, Bugs.
How does this kid know that Bugs Bunny wants his dad's shorts for a good reason? Just because Bugs is famous doesn't mean he wouldn't sell that to the top bidder given the chance.
I see aliens. Little aliens from outer space.
This fortune teller is correct, but movie has time for this.
This organization will name their team the Ducks.
The University of Oregon? How did this guy get down here? Yeah, he may have seen Bugs and Daffy around the whole world, but it's not like...
Isn't that like a reference to the Mighty Ducks?
...to make himself small enough to fit inside it.
It's a Disney?
These are cartoon characters?
That's cartoonist.
Listen, after meeting with team owners, I have decided that until we can guarantee the health and safety of our NBA players, there will be no more basketball this season.
So wait, a grand total of 5 NBA players lost their abilities when they're shutting down a whole season? Did anyone notice that even the teammates of the players who lost their skills didn't get affected? And believe it or not, there are tons of superstars in the NBA besides the ones featured in this movie. Having Yosemite Sam and Tweety on your team. Why the f*** isn't, say, Roadrunner here? You don't think Roadrunner could help? There are a number of stock characters and one-off characters who could help better than the assholes on this team. I see Rockhammer has arrived. Why isn't he monumentally pissed that his aliens even agreed to do this basketball game? He just wanted them to kidnap him. It's not like he was fooled by the fake rulebook too, right? Bugs once again causes massive property damage by coming up through the floor. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fixed by game time, but Bugs is addicted to floors and contractors. This game is 99% dunking. That's like a pop song. It's all chorus. Narration. Why is this the first time the Monstars are talking to Swackhammer since they left? Why wouldn't Swackhammer have talked to them long before this?
Your secret stuff.
Bugs is going to trick his buddies into taking secret stuff to give them confidence they can beat the Monstars. This is not only dangerous and dickish, but how many seconds of this game will it take for these Looney Tunes to realize it's not working? That is, if it mattered at all, since the real strategy is to cheat in the second half. Basketball rules explicitly state you cannot use a motorized vehicle during any game, even exhibitions. I mean, why didn't you try this in the first half? So when it was 58-18 with just under 3 minutes to go, and the scoreboard was spinning like a slot machine because the Monstars were scoring at will, you're telling me they only scored 8 more points during that? Seriously, the Toon Squad just crossed the line in this game. It has nothing to do with drinking Michael Jordan's fake basketball elixir. They just got the inspiration to break all the rules. They could have done this way earlier if no one was going to call them out on it. We won't play the music here, but as you can see, Space Jam just stuck in a Pulp Fiction reference out of nowhere. You know, a little fun reference for reference sake, so the parents can feel smart. Exactly 1 hour into a movie with 17 actual minutes left. Movie suggests that the Monstars had a score for the entire third period, namely due to unregulated cheating. Also, the score was not changed to 45 over on this side.
That's funny.
Mix up the entire gym with skunk, just so they could score 2 easy points. Sure, they're wearing gas masks for this stunt, but skunk stink doesn't go away after 5 seconds. No, not even in cartoon world, Sexy Jesus 69. Well, 12-year-old me consistently petitioned my gym teacher for 1 period of no-holds-barred gameplay in an effort to legally retaliate against Billy Thompson. Adult me finds this UFC fight masquerading as a basketball game to be an insult to the sport. A minute ago, we saw the score was 66-45 in the third quarter with 6 minutes left, meaning the Toon Squad went on a 27-0 run in roughly 6 minutes. Now it's the fourth quarter with 4.5 minutes left, and the Toon Squad's gone on an additional 21-2 run. Wow, the total 48-2 run since halftime is incredible. How much jacking up is going on during the roughly 14 minutes we fast-forwarded through? This should now be an absolute total blowout for the Toon Squad.
Are you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking. You want a piece of me? Come and get it.
I can't blame Michael Jordan for the line reading, especially the come and get it part, since he's not really an actor. He's talking to absolutely nobody there. But it's almost like they did one take of this line and Ed Wood went ahead and printed that.
One-on-one with a paying customer.
I'm sorry, if this kid was bored by the ride earlier in the movie, he'll be mega bored at the idea of beating Michael Jordan Jordan when he's shackled down and can't do crush him. So, wait, has the Toon Squad stopped shooting now? Just because the Monstars have decided to go with an overly physical game doesn't mean the Looney Tunes can't still cheat, right?
You got any more of that secret stuff? I think it's starting to wear off.
It didn't wear off. It was just water. You're supposed to tell them that after the game, asshole. Also, the special stuff did nothing. The players all went into cheat mode after that, and we didn't see one thing that had to do with actual basketball ability, except maybe Elmer Fudd's Jordan impression. Well, it's funny the buzzard is completely covered in bandages here. When did he ever get on the book? I guess they cut out those scenes and just put him here strictly for the joke, but a buzzard would have been a huge advantage in this game. Stan's injuries make no sense, considering nothing else that happens to these characters has any lasting effects. This just feels like a Deus Ex script rewrite, so Bill Murray could be relevant to the movie again. Sorry for all the scoreboard but goddamn, it's infuriating. How is it 77 to 67 with 10 seconds to go, since it was 68 to 66 when Swackhammer called timeout? That means the Toon Squad got a free throw in this goddamn movie. Since when do they call fouls? I do that.
Oh, anybody can do that, Doc. Even you.
Jordan just now realizes he has the same abilities as the Looney Tunes in this place, despite surviving the earlier scene where he was turned into a basketball and dribbled up and down the court.
I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture.
How the did Bill Murray know there was a game going on down here? And why is he only here with 10 seconds left in the game?
Somebody steal the ball, give it to me, and I'll score before the time.
You will need to score at least 4 baskets, and that's if there is a 3-point line in this game. Before time runs out, it's 77 to 6. Wait, when did the score jump to 77 to 76? Even if they consider the score during the standalone scene to be near the continuity, the Toon Squad didn't do after that timeout.
Just how did you get here, anyway?
Producer's a friend of mine, just got a teamster come and drop me off.
No, wait, are we now acknowledging that this is all a movie? Do we remove all the stakes? And I'm actually saying that with a straight face. Final 10 seconds of this basketball game take an egregious 70 seconds, counting from the time the Monstars inbound the ball to the time Michael scores. Even if we took out slow-mo, it's way more than 10 seconds. I didn't expect the movie to play fair, but goddamn. Monstars send Swackhammer back to the moon or wherever in a rocket, which flies directly from a stadium on Earth. But I thought this whole game got played in Looney Tunes land, which is in the Earth's mantle, or something. The only reason why certain special things were possible was because they were in Looney Tunes land. Daffy asked how Bill Murray even got there. And we even saw all the cartoon fans showing up to the game earlier. How the f*** is this rocket getting launched from a stadium on the Earth?
The delay is killing us. Where's Michael?
A baseball game does not simply delay because a player hasn't shown up yet, even if that player is Michael goddamn Jordan. So, hold on. Is this ship coming from outer space? Because I thought Mike was inside the Earth. I sometimes wonder if this movie knows where everyone is in relation to the planet. I guess the ship could have flown out of Looney Tunes land and flew straight into the atmosphere and then came back down from the clouds, but why? This guy is not even a little impressed by a cartoon spaceship appearing right before his eyes. This woman is way too impressed at something in the other direction, and this guy is just staring right at the camera. First off, how does Mike know all the formerly good NBA players were practicing here? Why are they practicing here? This is one incredibly gym, and wouldn't there be some media interest in the 5 basketball players looking to get good again? Everyone gets their talent back, but I don't know how the talent knows where to go. And it seems like Mike, who's been touching the ball a bunch, could have been in danger of getting Sean Bradley's talent. Thought I was done bagging on Sean Bradley, but I wasn't. Everyone proves their talent is back by dunking.
Hey, Michael, why don't you stay and play some 3-on-3 with us?
Also, could you tell us how the Magic Basketball gave us our talent back? You haven't been very forthcoming about that.
That's hilarious.
He's sensational when he dribbles to his right. He's only great when he goes left. They will force him up as much as possible from the top of the circle.
Yeah, that's absolutely hilarious. Oh, man. Anyways, guys, that was my reaction to Everything Wrong with Space Jam from CinemaSins. Gonna be honest, I haven't really watched CinemaSins in such a long time. Like, I remember, like, I can't remember what it was. It was just like, it was all the same thing over and over, but I was like, hey, it's Space Jam. Space Jam 2 is out this weekend. I'll check it out. And I was like, you know what? He seems to kind of polished up some of his stuff and whatever and gotten a little bit better. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And I love the new, well, it's probably not new. It's probably been that way with the logo for a while. But yeah, love Space Jam. I absolutely adore that movie and can't wait to see 2 tomorrow, which I'm seeing. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that was my reaction to everything wrong with Space Jam. I just want to let you guys know, if you are new here, you can go ahead and check out my channel for other video reactions, trailer reactions, top 10s, movie reviews, and a bunch of other film-related content. If you are a new subscriber, you can go ahead and click the bell to get notified of future videos. If you're a returning subscriber, I seriously appreciate you. I have a Patreon if you'd like to support me there, because I give early access to videos and a bunch of other content there that either just stays at the Patreon or comes to YouTube later on. I have a Twitter if you'd like to follow me there to get updates of the videos and movie news and a bunch of other stuff. I have a Discord if you'd like to join there to interact with me and a bunch of other people. So I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you all. Stay random.